Hello, hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? I'm live on YouTube. Yay. Thank you for joining. If you're subscribed to my channel, thank you for subscribing. Because of you, my channel is spreading across the internet and a lot of people get to find out this information. So thank you very much. And if you're new to me, my name is Ify. I'm an immigration attorney. On this channel, I talk about everything related to marriage-based green card. That's what I do. I'm the marriage-based green card lawyer. So I'm on here always giving you tips on how to file your green card application, tips if you're having issues with your petitioner, if there's abuse, or if your petitioner just maybe can't qualify because of their financial situation, because generally your petitioner has to make a certain amount of money to be able to petition for you. So that's what I'm doing on this channel. I also talk about the green card interview process a lot lately, actually. So if you are in the final phase of your green card application and you are waiting for your green card interview, this is a channel for you. You'll find questions here, tips on how to handle yourself on that day and stuff like that. It's great. So subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you again for joining. All right. If you don't mind, for those of you here, let me know in the comments where you're joining in from. I'm joining in from Charlotte, North Carolina. So I want to see how far we have reached the world today. Okay. As you can see from the topic of this video, I'm talking about a removal of conditions, the I-751 removal of conditions. I've gotten a lot of questions about it in the comments on YouTube, so I decided to just come on here and answer live for everyone because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have the same questions. So I'm going to briefly explain what removal of conditions is, how to go about actually removing conditions if you have a temporary green card, and what to do if you are divorced from your petitioner's spouse, or your spouse is dead, or you're facing any type of abuse. So there are options for people in those types of situations. So I'll go into that. So I'll start from the beginning and get into that. All right. So who files a removal of condition? I-751 removal of condition. This form is pretty much for a green card holder who was married to the petitioner for less than 2 years before getting approved for their green card. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you file to get your green card through marriage. Obviously, you show that your marriage is bona fide and you provide paperwork, your lease, and all of that, and you get your green card. Yay. But if you're married for less than 2 years, you most likely got a temporary green card. And a temporary green card means that, okay, you weren't married for too long, probably didn't have a lot of evidence on your first application, so we're going to give you this green card for 2 years, and after that, you can reapply, come back, and show us that your marriage is still great, and we'll give you a permanent green card. That's pretty much what they're saying with that temporary green card. Okay, so you file, you get your temporary green card, and then you wait for 90 days before your green card is about to expire, and then you apply to remove conditions. This process is pretty straightforward if you are still with the petitioner. Your marriage is definitely bona fide. Maybe you even have children by this time. You've moved in together, because the first time you applied, you weren't even living together because you were both students. You didn't have any money. So now 2 years later, you have all this stuff. So when it's time for you to remove conditions, the types of documents you need to show is like, hey, my marriage is still bona fide. These are the things that we've been doing for the past 2 years. So that's the next step. If you qualify to remove conditions, you are almost at the 90-day mark and you're about to fill out the form I-751. You'll go ahead and start putting together these documents, the birth certificate of your child, your mortgage or lease together, things that you've gathered, your bills, just kind of like the same things you used the first time, but more, to show that the marriage is still bona fide and you continue to live together and you continue to qualify for that green card. So that's kind of how it goes. So generally, I mean, life is the way it is messy. And we see sometimes not every couple makes it to the 2-year mark. For whatever reason, there's a divorce. Okay, when that happens, I also get the question like, what do I do? What do I do if my petitioner, it just didn't work out? Some people try to still stay in the marriage because they think that they have to be with that same petitioner throughout their stay in the US or their whole immigration journey. Like they'll be like, well, if I divorce, then what will happen? I can't even get my citizenship. I mean, it doesn't really work like that. When someone petitions for you, yes, the person's your petitioner. They also have that I-864 on file for you. That's fine. But if things are not working out, if there's divorce or there's abuse or even death, I mean, we can't even control that. If there's death, then what are we going to do? So you'll just go ahead and still have your green card, but you have to explain. So in a situation whereby you need a waiver, because typically your American spouse or U.S. citizen spouse or your petitioning spouse is supposed to sign that I-751 with you. So if any of these situations I just mentioned happens to you and your petitioner is just not available to sign, then in your application you have to also include a waiver, a reason why your spouse did not sign. If you provide a death certificate, then they'll know, okay, the petitioner is dead, so there's nothing that we can do there, so you just get your green card. If you are divorced, you provide your divorce certificate, and obviously that divorce should not be of any fault of yours, the beneficiary, because like I said in the beginning, the whole point of this removal of condition process is to make sure that your marriage is still legitimate and you still deserve the green card that you got the first time. So that's the whole point of it. So if you divorce for some reason, something you caused, maybe infidelity or abuse from you, the beneficiary, just for whatever reason, it'll be seen as a bad act, and that could also affect your eligibility. So divorce is tricky. Just if it's just a normal divorce, nothing, you didn't cause anything as the petitioner or the beneficiary, you're the beneficiary and the petitioner for this removal of conditions situation. But if you didn't do anything and the divorce just happened, so be it. You just provide your divorce certificate and explain what happened, and it should be good. So now when you apply and do all of this, it typically takes about a year to hear back. Okay, it can take a long time. I've seen situations where it's taking even longer than a year. So, but there's nothing to even worry about in that situation because, I mean, obviously your green card expiration dates will come and pass while you're waiting for this removal of conditions. That's fine. Generally, you get a letter from the USCIS once you send your removal of condition form that's going to extend your green card. Actually, it'll give you a few, maybe even 18 months of extension so that your green card is still valid. You can still travel and do things with that letter, work and all of that while you're waiting for the approval. So there's no need to panic if you haven't heard from the USCIS after your I-751 application. But if it's taking longer than a year, obviously reach out to an attorney to look into what's going on there, or just contact the USCIS yourself. Because when oh, my phone, I forgot you're charging. Because when yeah, I don't even know what I was saying anymore, but oh yeah, if it's taking too long. Yeah, if it's taken more than a year, definitely contact someone about that, because you never really know what's going on. There could be more investigation that needs to happen with the case, or maybe just if you moved and you didn't change your address, and now they sent you some notices and you didn't get it. So make sure you are keeping track of your case and checking online and making sure you know what's going on. And then if it's taking too long, then definitely say something. But yeah, with immigration processes, it takes forever typically. So patience is key in anything that you file. Just make sure that whenever you move, you change your address, you are checking your case status online, and if it's still good, then just keep waiting. That's just one thing with every immigration process. I mean, except for maybe the I-130. If you're just doing an I-130 only petition for like a consulate process or something, that could take like 6 to 8 months. Those types of single applications take less time. But whenever you're having to prove like bona fide marriage and this type of removal of condition application, it takes longer. So just expect that with your removal of condition application, and you should be good. I think that's all I kind of had written down for this topic. If there's anything in particular you want to know about removal of condition, maybe something that relates to your case specifically, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'll be checking out the comments to answer questions live, and that can help you that way. But if you're not able to catch this live, just leave it in the comments, and hopefully you can join us next time. The goal is to come on live more frequently, so subscribe, like I said in the beginning, so that you don't miss out when I do. And yeah, also join our Facebook group if you're applying for your green card through marriage. Join our Facebook group, because I also go live on there. I'm actually going live on there after this to answer some questions from that group. So that group has specific questions for marriage-based green card for people who are just starting. Okay, so if you need to know anything about forms or what forms you need and stuff like that, join that group. The link is in the description, and you'll get all the answers that you need. All right. So if all hearts and minds are clear, I'll end this live. It's been just a few minutes, and I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Okay. Again, my name is Ify, the marriage green card lawyer. I'll be available to answer your questions. My link is available in the description as well to book a consultation. Whenever people, sometimes they find me on YouTube and then they just call me because they want to speak to me, and I know you have something going on, and I really empathize and I want to help you. But it's always better to book with the link, because you can make sure you have a specific dedicated time for you. Because if you call me and I'm just like, rush in, you don't really get the full benefit of what you need. So, but I understand. I know stuff is going on with immigration. There's a lot of panic and anxiety that's associated with it. But I'll be here to help you feel comfortable, feel at ease, especially during your green card interview. It's tough, but it's not impossible, okay? We'll do this together. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next live. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.